During the Harlem Renaissance, Zora Neale Hurston was influencing people by her powerful writing skill, her vibrant characteristic through her writing, and her fearless and pioneering voice. At that time, African American art, music, and literature began to blossom. Harlem Renaissance is a time during the 1920s and 1930s when African Americans are making fantastic work in New York City. People celebrated black music, culture, and literature during that period, and their ideas influenced people and are still used today. Zora Neale Hurston was a famous African American writer and anthropologist. She was one of the leading voices of the Harlem Renaissance. Zora wrote novels and stories that is about African Americans' traditions, language, and communities and life. One of her famous books is Their Eyes Were Watching God, and it continues to inspire writers and artists today. Zora Neale Hurston was born on January 7, 1891 in Notasulga, Alabama. She spent a lot of time in Eatonville, Florida during her early life. It is a place that's one of the first all-black towns in the United States. Zora is the fifth of the 8 children. Her mom is called Lucy Ann Hurston, who takes care of their home and family. Her dad is called John Cornelius, who was a minister who serves 3 terms as Eatonville's mayor. He also worked as a carpenter and a sharecropper who does farming work to support family. She was surrounded by community storytelling and traditions. Zora Neale Hurston was greatly influenced by philosophy. The cultural tales was shared by her family members and inspired her imagination on the way to become a writer. Zora studied the teaching of Booker T in a town school. Her mother, Lucy Ann Hurston, died in 1904 when Zora was only 13 years old. Her father remarried and sent her to live with relatives. Her life changed a lot and was sent to a boarding school. Zora Neale Hurston attended Morgan Academy, the high school division of Morgan College. When she moved to Baltimore, Maryland, she completed her high school education there in 1918. This achievement pursued her to a higher education at Howard University. After graduating, Zora attended Howard University from 1919 to 1924, where she learned Spanish, Greek, English, and public speaking. She published her first short story, John Redding Goes to Sea, from the literary magazine The Stylist. Zora is an active student and earned an associated degree from Howard before moving to Barnard College in 1925 to study more about anthropology. Zora took a job as a maid for musical theater troupe in 1916. She traveled the country, learned about theater, and studied by asking performances to borrow books. Her passion for theater continued while they produced The Great Day on Broadway in 1932. Zora helped publish the inaugural issue of school newspaper in 1924, marking it as the first black collegiate newspapers in the United States. She joined the Howard Literary Club, publishing her first short story, John Redding Goes to Sea. Zora Neale Hurston graduated from Barnard College in 1926, the first African American woman to do it. She received the Bachelor of Arts under Franz Boas. She also received scholarship to study anthropology at Barnard. She moved to New York City and joined a group of influential writers and artists. Her involvement in the Harlem Renaissance celebrated African American arts. Zora's first marriage was with Herbert Sheen, a fellow writer. Their marriage was brief and ended with domestic violence in 1931. Her second marriage was with Albert Price. It is also short and was finalized in 1943. Zora's third marriage was with James Howell Pitt. It lasted only 8 months and divorced in 1945. Zora Neale Hurston co-founded Fire, a literary magazine that has played a role in Harlem Renaissance, showing African American artists and writers' talents. Zora Neale Hurston also published another novel called Mouse and Man in 1935. It is an African American folk tale narrating her journey, providing insight to complex of Black heritage and cultures. Her most renowned work is The Eyes Were Watching God in 1937. It follows Jamie Crawford in a frame story, a woman returning to Interville, Florida. The novel explores themes of gender role, race, and self-discovery. Zora won Anticifield Wolf Book Award in 1943 for her autobiography, Dust Tracks on the Road from a nonfiction category. She also won Bethune-Cookman College Award for Education and Human Relations to honor their leadership and contribution. Hurston's writing focused on the richness of African American life by exploring the deep personal identity. She includes key elements for her literary styles and themes. Zora influenced many writers, for example, Ralph Ellison and Toni Morrison. Her novel focused on African American culture, giving voice to Black women and explore perspective in literature. Zora Neale Hurston ended her life on January 28, 1960 at the age of 69 because of a hypertensive heart disease.